Hello everybody, how's it going? Screezel here, and I hope you're all well, and welcome to a massive rant. Yes, I'm ranting. It's going to be a rant video. I'm sorry, I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying not to get angry at this game. I'm trying my best to enjoy myself in War Thunder, but, well, recently I had the mad notion that I wanted to actually do a video on the G91. I want to do a history of video on this plane, because it's a very interesting plane. It's a very important plane to Italy. And aviation in general, it's a fantastic plane. If not for some under-the-table shady issues in the 60s sort of area, then it could have been a very, very good plane. And we would not have had a lot of dead pilots in the Starfighter. Anyway, back to talking. So, what's this rant about? Well, this rant about is 9.0 in general. It's about stock jets, and it's about pay-to-win mechanics. So, 9.0. What is the problem? Well, let's just look at this page, shall we? So, we have a supersonic jet. 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 We have a pay-to-win jet. Pay-to-win jet. Pay-to-win jet. Pay-to-win jet. Do you see the problem? So, out of all of these planes, there are probably 2 or 3 that I can deal with okay. The rest, simply can't do anything about, unless I go head on. Which shouldn't be a thing. You shouldn't have to basically head on to get a kill in War Thunder Air RB. It shouldn't be a need. It shouldn't be a requirement to actually get a kill in air battles. You should be able to do it on your own. Let's look at the enemy team. Pay to win. Pay to win. Pay to win. Oh wait, is that the... I can't remember if that's the pay to win saber or not. Anyway. Supersonic. Supersonic. Pay to win crashed. Supersonic. Supersonic. MiG-17 AS. So... F4 below me. Can't do anything about this guy, because even in a dive, I can't get up to speed in this thing, because this thing is stock. I have no chance in this plane. It is stock, and therefore useless. And this is the experience I had all of yesterday. I played about 11 games in this. I survived 1 match. I think I got about 4 kills. The rest, absolutely wiped off the face of the earth. Not by missiles, mind you. Was not killed once by a missile, but just through the fact that I couldn't A, catch the enemy, or B, I wasn't in a fully aced vehicle because I didn't pay money to have that happen. I couldn't effectively do anything in battle. Most of my victories came either by a head-on or extreme luck. Anything skillful you do in this game is, it basically is there to punish you. This shouldn't be how the game is. Now, out of those 11 games yesterday, 1 of them was a down tier. 1 of them was a down tier. Every other was 10.0. Which is just jaw-droppingly stupid. It is so bad at the moment. Yes, I know that there are going to be players out there that, can take a stock vampire out into a 10.0 match and kill 10 planes with it with no trouble because they're incredibly good. But your sort of average player here, your average general player, somebody with a premium account, somebody that plays every day, somebody that has played a long time, somebody that's played all the planes to unlock them, somebody that knows kind of how to dogfight but isn't the best at it, but still can do it if needs be, are effectively crippled in this game. And it's not just air. Ground forces is just as bad, especially with the premiums. Premiums have killed this game. Gaijin, with their short-sighted, short-term logic of making a quick buck here, have basically completely destroyed their game. F-86, we head on, we fire a few shots, and somehow I hit it. That was an extremely lucky shot, and yeah, that was just pure luck. There was no skill in there. Now we've got the premium Chinese fighter jet, the Shenyang F5, of course, and this is the better MiG-15, isn't it? I think off the top of my head. I always get MiGs mixed up, but it's fast, it's manoeuvrable, it has low ammunition, but there is nothing you can do about it in a stock 9.0 jet. We've got a Hunter as well. Now, Hunter, it's the fastest thing in the game for a bit of time. And now it's so slow. It's almost not worth having. They need to do something about the compression. They need to do something about the BRs. They need to do something about jets. They need to fix this shit because it is so broken. It's beyond a joke. And it's not just broken from like a, small amount of time. This has been broken for a long time. This has been broken since before the T2 came out. This has been problematic for so very long. And our team is almost gone. Like, we've lost almost all our team now. And they've got a couple of Phantoms and an F5. And there is nothing we can do about these guys. Now, the Phantoms can't do anything to me because they don't know how to fly. And yes, they're just boom and zooming, but what else can they do? Because they don't have a centralized gun, they're having to use gun pods, they have to rely on a boom and zoom. The enemy team are flying over their airfield because, of course they are. I was hoping I could get lucky there with either that Shenyang or F4, but unfortunately no luck. 30mm cannons are not great for that. This is the kind of quality of match I've been having. Now, this is the longest match I've had for a while. And that, again, is a bad thing. This is a 10-minute match, and I got one kill, and the rest of the time I was helpless. I could do nothing. I can't do anything to help that F-86. Can't do anything to help myself. I can't do anything to attack the enemy planes. I can't chase down a supersonic jet. You're helpless. You are literally helpless. Are there props in the game that are like this? The RE2005 is very, very good, but I wouldn't say it's to a point that it is a whole step above, like the F4s are to you. Now, look at that F4 there. I don't know how he missed. The only thing I can think is he had no ammunition left. Because if that was just skill alone that he managed to miss that, it is impressive. And I've just basically resigned myself to being, I'm just going to fly over the airfield and die to AAA because I don't want to give these bastards a kill. That was my thought process here, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to let AAA take me and maybe get a kill of an F4. But this shouldn't be how gameplay is, and this is how gameplay is in jets. It is atrocious, it is appalling, and it is piss poor. Gaijin need to do something about their game, because it's broken. It's fundamentally broken at top tiers. Now, as I said before, so F4 with gun pods and F4 with gun pods. So yeah, they should have ammunition. This one's even got missile left, I think. No, sorry, those are just the clasps. But effectively, there is. What fun is to be had in this gameplay? Like, what fun is there in this match? There is none. Okay, we're just going to head back to the hangar quickly. Okay, so back in the hangar. So, G91 are free. 11 games yesterday. I managed to unlock my cannon belt and that much of a new booster. Yep, that's completely fun, isn't it? So let's just look at premiums. Now, Germany has it rough, as usual, with the premium Seahawk. A very slow jet, but it does have, missiles on it. But still, it's without a doubt the worst premium jet. No, actually, it's the second worst. America. F-86, F-89. The F-89s I don't class as anything because they are just useless. Well, they're not useless, but they're just for show. And the fact that to have the F-89D, you need to pay effectively 12,000 golden eagles to get 2 planes. So that is, what's that? $60, 60 US dollars to get 2 premium planes. $60 for planes that aren't really that much use or good. But of course, the F-86-35, decent plane, decent speed. Again, it's not a match against anything supersonic, but a decent plane nonetheless. But you don't see too many of them flying around. Let's go to Britain, of course, and the Meteor, Mark 8, Reaper. Yep, we won't say any more about that. Japan, of course, has another F-86, the F-86-40, again a very good plane, good speed, missiles, yada yada yada. Go to Italy, and there's the G91 R4 variant, which you can't unlock in a tech tree, which is just complete. Just speaks to Gaijin, doesn't it? It just speaks how greedy they have become and how little they care about their player base. Yes, this isn't a Italian plane. That's not in the Italian Air Force tree. But the only G91 that has air-to-air missiles available is a premium. And it's at 9.0 still. You've got the G91 Pre-Series, which is 8.7, which is okay, that's kind of okay, because at least you don't face 10.0s. But the G91 is completely outclassed now at its BR. The G91 YS, I've not yet got it, so I can't really talk about it, but I imagine it's just going to be a slightly faster G91. I don't see much coming from it. And of course, I've got the F-86 now. France. Oh, poor France. The Volteur. Both of these have become obsolete. Both of these, when jets sort of became a thing, were some of the best planes in game. The SO-4050 2A was one of the best jets in game because of those cannons. Now it's become one of the worst. Mainly for a bit of a stealth nerf. The wings rip off if you turn, which has not helped at all. But power creep has completely destroyed them. You've got the Super Mystère, which is not that great. The F-86K, again, which is not that great. And then you've got the Premium Volteur, again, with air-to-air missiles. So again, if you want air-to-air missiles in anything other than a rank 6, you're kind of out of luck. So you're sort of... It's ridiculous, and this is a pay-to-win mechanic. But the biggest problems are Russia. The MiG-17 AS now is a premium. Again, extremely good plane. An extremely capable plane. And again, it's got missiles available to it. Which, yes, I know people say missiles aren't the be-all to end-all of things, but they do help you in a fight. But again, if we look at the speed of this, that's 692. Now there's the MiG-15 Bish, which is pretty terrible, and anyone that bought this before this came out is going to be kicking themselves. Yes, it does have some interesting rockets available for it for ground attack, but other than that, it's not a very good plane to fly in. And then, of course, we have the new pay-to-win machine, the meme machine. It's the Shanyang F5, which has the best speed of any premium, decent guns, and don't forget, it has decent air-to-air missiles. And it's not a MiG-15, is it? It's a MiG-17, isn't it? Am I going off my mind? Am I getting my MiGs mixed up? Yeah, it's the MiG-17, isn't it? Sorry, I'm hopeless with MiGs. There's just too many variants, and I always forget which one's which. But did you see any of these in the match? No, you didn't really. I think there was a J72 in there, or two, which people have, I'm sure, not ground out in that time. I'm pretty sure they have used lots of Golden Eagles to get to there. But there is no defense against these planes. It's ridiculous. The fact that China, as a new nation, has got 3 top-tier jets at rank 6 is mind-boggling. Yes, the J4 is not great, and effectively it could be a rank 5, but they've got more planes than some nations that have been in there for ages. Of course, you've got Japan with the T2, which is still an extremely capable vehicle. When you're fighting 10.0, you're fighting the Phantoms. The F-100 at 9.7 is an extremely capable plane as well, as stated. And again, those air-to-air missiles do really help it. But what are these other planes to do? The FJ4B, or FJ4B, 9.0, this thing is terrible. Again, same issue. It's not very good. Now, I do have a Sidewinders unlocked on this, so I do have the ability to launch 2 missiles. But this thing is slow. This thing is extremely slow. And you can't really do much in a match with it. So, effectively, the counter for something that's fast is something that's manoeuvrable. But the trouble is, manoeuvrability means jack diddly squat in this patch. It's all about the speeds, and you can't counteract that. They need to do something about the matchmaker. They need to do something about the BR compression. They need to do something about this game, because it is going to die. And I don't use that as a, scare factor. I mean, it's literally, I remember back a year ago, 2 years ago, I would log on at this time of day, and there would be 30, 40k players. Now there's half of that. Peak times, you might get 40 to 50k players online. But that's just an extremely good day. Weekends, maybe. The player base is shrinking, and these are the reasons why. Gaijin are more focused on making a quick buck than they are making a good game. And that's sort of pretty obvious if you look at their premiums right now. If you look at their premium vehicles, I don't even play helicopters yet. I've just given up on it. But if you look at some of the new premium tanks, for instance, I'll look at the 2 big ones here of the France. The Super AMX-30, again, not a regular tech tree variant, but has extremely capable package, and effectively destroys any 7.7 vehicle. Any 7.7 vehicle cannot defend against it. And, of course, things like the XM1GM, the Leopard A1A1 L44 is not that great, in all honesty. Again, it's not one of the better premiums out there. The T55 AM, again, not one of the greatest out there. But they still are better than a stock tank. They're still better than a 7.7 tank. And the fact that you get up-tiered pretty much every match is why those tanks are destroying everybody. It's why we can't do anything in matches. If you try and actually play any nation at the moment, if you're playing in a regular tech tree variant, so let's say you're playing in the Ariete now. Ariete P. So you play this tank. 9k repair cost. 3k repair cost for the premium variant. Fact is, the Ariete P will get taken out by 8.7 premiums quite easily. I know somebody who's got one, and they just can't do anything with it. And this is the problem at top tier, is the premiums are better than the regular tech tree variants, which is not how it should be. A premium should be a equal or unique vehicle. If we look at the old premiums, if we look at old premiums from the day, and we discount reward vehicles because they are reward vehicles, they're not, they're not something you can buy. But we look at some of the premiums from the day. The T20 was an extremely good premium, but it was 5.3, and it was a little bit handicapped because there's not a good 5.3 American lineup really. There are some good 5.0s. There is the Hellcat, of course, but it was not super better than some of regular tech tree vehicles, but it was pretty good. You look at some of the more modern ones they've added, and they are just simply better than regular tech tree variants. That's not how it should be. As I say, like, your premium vehicles should be unique. They should be interesting. Look at the early tier premiums, for instance. Look at the Hargo Commander or the Vrogo. These are useless, but they're interesting. The Chahar Short is hilarious, but it's not very good. The Chinu 2 is actually very good, but a 3.7, it's quite a high BR for it, for effectively a Chinu, because the armour isn't there. So you have a good gun, but you have no armour. The number 6 Heavy, of course, very good premium, but it's a Tiger. It's things like the Type 74G, the Ho-Ri, not the Type 75, obviously, but these tanks are so much better than sort of regular tech tree variants at this BR that they're effectively paid to win. And obviously one of the biggest arguments for this is the IS-6. When that was launched, of course, it was impossible to kill because somehow Gaijin gave it, extra armour. And, of course, the Object 120, which I didn't buy by this was a reward for me, for a competition. But I got it because I wanted to have an overpowered vehicle. And this thing is overpowered. This thing will be able to take out 10.0 tanks. This thing is just ridiculously overpowered. At 7.7, when you're taking out, let's look at a 6.7 vehicle. 6.7 is Type 61. This is your regular tech tree tank. Stock armour. .912 meters per second. About 176 millimeters of pen at distance. Not very good. Armour. Not very good. And you will be facing the Object 120, and you will die a lot because you can't do anything against it because it will be at range. If we look again, if we go to Russia and did I hit the wrong thing? Oh, there it is. And get the armor piercing fin stabilized discarding Sabo, and let's go for 3,000 meters away. There is not a point on this tank which will stop that shell. And it will pretty much be an instant kill no matter what. See how problematic that is? And this has been a problem in the game for a long time. The jets, however, is just starting to become the real problem. Yes, there have been some rather good premiums in the past, but there's never been a premium plane that's been so ludicrously overpowered, I think, than things like the Shangyang. And I'm sure it's not ludicrously overpowered to a 9.0 fully aced jet that's on par with it. But when you're flying a jet that's not aced, when you're flying a jet that still needs a few modifications, you're absolutely screwed. We need to start vocalizing this, people. If we don't start making a fuss, then it's never going to stop, and the game will die. You'll be having a game that you've spent money on, that you've spent time on, that you've spent hours playing, that no longer exists, and we don't want that to happen. I want Gaijin and I want War Thunder to be the best it can be, but at the moment, that's something it can't do, and it's only going to get worse. Alright guys, until next time, this is me, a very unhappy, very miserable Screezer like that. Bye bye.